Well, good morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. on this ninth day of February. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. Sparky, good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for.
Oh, we'll recap what was the Super Bowl number 60. We'll recap that. We'll get into some other news and headlines around the sports world, including that horrific injury down in the Olympics. We'll get into that. Plus, we'll have our guy Rick Bentley talking all things entertainment coming up at 7:30. And then it's Monday, Made You Laugh Monday. We'll have Trevor, and he's bringing in Ivan Sanchez, a local comedian, starting at 8 o'clock ahead of their show tonight at the Firehouse. And then we'll have our guy Snacks talking NBA, as a lot of people say the NBA season starts after the Super Bowl, but we'll talk about the trade deadline, all the crazy trades that happened, plus much, much more. You can call or text in with your comments or questions at 661-842-2000.
I think the NBA wishes they could say their season starts after the Super Bowl with everything that football takes away in terms of attention and all of that away from it. But I think they're also hoping that because the All-Star game's coming up, and NBA fans know the season doesn't start till after the All-Star game. In fact, it really doesn't start till the playoffs. This is just a glorified preseason. So we'll get into some stuff with Snacks, though. I want to get his thoughts on these trades, the final trades before the deadline, the trades that went through before the deadline last week that we didn't get to talk to him about. James Harden made his first appearance as a Cavalier the other night. He did pretty well. I'm still not that hopeful, though. I'm sorry, Cavaliers fans. There was audio that I had pulled, though. We will probably get to it tomorrow. John Doss made a very interesting statement on the Greg Kerr show last week, confirming a theory that I've had in my head for years. But we'll get to that when we actually get a chance. If I, have time to bring it up with Snacks, maybe I will. But as of right now, we have way too much to talk about. Obviously, the Super Bowl was yesterday, and my God. Now, a couple things before we get into this Snoresville that was the first half. We were right, Sparky. The team that controlled the ground is the team that won the football game. And Kenneth Walker came to play.
Yes, he did.
Every time he touched the football, that was an 8 to 10 yard gain. And they, honestly, New England did a great job at getting to Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold did a great job at escaping and making plays. But they completely forgot about the guy that stands right next to Sam the whole game. They were so focused on stopping Sam Darnold that they completely ignored Kenneth Walker, or whoever's job it was to slow Kenneth down was not doing a very good job, whether that was Ellis or Spillane or whomever, does not matter. Their game plan did not work in the first half at all. It didn't work the entire game, let's be honest. But it turned into a Super Bowl win for the Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold. 29-13 was your final. What was the most exciting part of this game to you, Sparky? And to be honest, was there any part of the game where you were sitting there thinking this might get competitive at some point? Because I wasn't.
There was for about 2 or 3 plays in the second half when Mac Hollins scored. And I'm like, all right, maybe. And then they drove down in the stupid play where he just overthrew his receiver, and that's when the game was just completely over. But I mean, I personally, I enjoyed the game just because I enjoy defensive type games. But it looked like New England got in their head. Obviously, May had his own demons that he was fighting, but they got away from the run, knowing that it wasn't going to work. But you still can't just get away from it that early. And I was more shocked that Vrabel got away from it.
Yes. And the Seattle front seven, no matter what Bobby Ortiz would like you to believe here on this show, is not the weak point of this defense. Wasn't going in, wasn't coming out. I told you guys last week, they were 8th in getting past a pass block and 3rd in beating a run block. Don't know about you, but that's pretty good statistics in my book.
Right.
So, yes, the front seven of Seattle was going to dictate this game regardless if it was going to be Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, Jalen Reed, right? that Jalen Reed,
Yep.
Jalen Reed, big boy in the middle, Reed, you know who I'm talking about. That was the long and short of it.
Everybody on that defense had their plays.
Destroyed.
Was there a certain play or a drive that you were most excited about, or at least pulled away from, damn, this one's over, or this one might be more competitive?
When I walked away, because I was at the Hard Rock Casino with a buddy of mine yesterday watching the game, and it was a fantastic time. Thank you, Hard Rock. But I can't necessarily say there was ever a point in time where I thought Seattle was going to lose this game. I'm not going to lie. When they kicked that third or fourth field goal in the first half, I said, all right, this is done. Especially watching what Drake was unable to do throughout the entire first half. He didn't look like his normal self. He couldn't pass the ball. He couldn't even find a running lane. I mean, the defense was so good and did everything right. Nick Imuari was playing with a bum ankle and was covering these guys like glue. Like, you couldn't, it's as if they knew the play before they even came out on the field. Like, it really was impressive.
And they saw in the post game, they were saying that Witherspoon's blitz was just in their head. Like they couldn't control anything.
That was the fumble recovery, right, for the touchdown. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even in the one in the first half that he sacked him.
Oh, correct. Yes.
He was seeing ghosts after that.
That's entirely possible. But the other thing that I kept noticing and saying throughout the first half was, we knew coming into this game, the left side of the New England Patriots were both rookies, Will Campbell and Wilson. They've been fantastic throughout the entire, year, but this is the biggest game of their career. This is the Super Bowl. And, the last time they had a rookie left tackle, one, you had Tom Brady as your quarterback, and two, you had a guard right next to that tackle that had been a veteran and knew what the heck to do. And if you haven't played football, especially if you haven't played on that front line, either on the offensive or the defensive lines, because trust me, if you played either or, you know exactly what I'm about to say. There are no group of people on a football field that talk to each other more than those lines, in positive and negative ways. They'll be calling everything out in front of them, helping each other out with blocking protection.
They had their own language.
Exactly. And they're talking. They are talking to each other. It helps when you have a veteran next to you that knows what they're doing all the time. That's going to make you look better. In this case, both of them weird. I mean, they couldn't stop a runny nose. They really couldn't. And, from an armchair quarterback situation, I grant you, it's easy for me to sit there, watch a television screen and say, Drake, just run.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to say that.
Like Collinsworth.
But in his head, now he's thinking, my entire left side is skeptical. I got Witherspoon coming from the right and getting through like nobody's business because for some reason, Kenneth Walker decides he's going to chip one guy and not the other. That was the one thing about that.
Oh, are you talking about Stevenson?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Stevenson. I said Walker, didn't I? Stevenson lowering his shoulder and getting the block down the linebacker was great. But you see two guys coming up at you.
He's outnumbered.
You are outnumbered. That's true. But last time I checked, you got two shoulders.
Yep.
Go right between the two of them. If you miss, dang.
Either way, you still got your quarterback a half second.
Yes. But when you only chip one and let Witherspoon come right in there with his hands up, the entire game was just rough for the front line of New England. And you're going to hear a lot of stuff today of, can Drake May ever live up to the hype? Is he really an MVP caliber?
In the shoulder before the game, and
was it the shoulder? Like, I'm going to sit here and tell you guys, relax on that. The kid is talented.
Yeah,
the kid's
young.
Great.
He's on a rookie deal still.
Now we get an extra year before the dynasty returns again, more than likely. Because I'm going to tell you this right now: next season, we're expecting the New England Patriots to make somewhat of a run again. Until Mike Vrabel is no longer the head coach, I'm going to expect you to get better every single year.
Yeah, and everyone knows where they're dressing this offseason.
So New England is now, once again, at least a contender, at the very least. But you're going to hear a lot of talking heads today go around saying Drake May is a fraud, or Drake May is this, Drake May is that. This was a combination of a lot of different things. And I also have to highlight again, although helped out a lot in that stretch, he still beat Houston. He still beat Denver. I mean, and this was going into a playoff where everybody was saying New England never played anybody that was tough. They beat every tough team on the way to a Super Bowl. And A.J. Brown said it himself before the game. Football is hard. NFL football is really hard.
Oh, they were not ready for that defense.
No, they were not. But also, to be fair, maybe Seattle was just really ready for that offense.
Oh, we've been saying that for a month. I mean, Seattle turned in, I think it was that last regular season game against the Rams where they found themselves, okay, this is their or make it or break it time. And they turned it on, and we saw that all throughout the playoffs.
Yeah.
That Seattle defense turned it up, and there was a reason that they were in there. But, I mean, I couldn't put all the blame on May. Yeah, he looked shaky. He looked like he'd been hit a few times. I mean, that's an offensive line issue.
Yeah, when the first 3 or 4 drives, your entire left side is getting blown up. Will Campbell is jumping off sides and still getting pushed on his butt.
And Collinsworth sounded like he lost a bet with he put money on the Patriots. I was like, what the hell is this?
He was upset.
He was pissed.
Look, man, and actually I got asked that question yesterday too. Would you have rather have been this group that we got, Collinsworth and his guy, or would it have been, or should it have been Tony Romo and
no.
I know I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I apologize because he's a legend. And again, it's an early.
Yeah, I know
morning,
you're
folks.
talking about though.
But
it should be a holiday.
It should be a holiday, or it's about to be a holiday if we get. Well, actually, if the fans get what they want, but the players don't want that. We'll get into that on a different day, though. But regardless,
are you talking about Joe Buck?
No, not Joe Buck. God, no. Please, no. If there's anybody worse than Chris Collinsworth, it's Joe Buck.
I would have taken the Brady crew too.
Yeah, the Brady crew would have been great. But honestly, the biases with Brady, I don't care what Brady says. I'm in the same boat as Woody and everybody else. He could sit there and say till he's blue in the face that he's not rooting for either team. Shenanigans. You know, it's either you have ill will towards them still and you hoped that this would happen, or you were hoping that Drake May would win a Super Bowl and your former team goes back to their former glory. Personally, I'm going to go with the former, with him not being with the Patriots anymore, now being with the Raiders. It would make more sense to me.
I see more that I've read this morning. Oh, it was a snore fest. It was a snore fest. I personally liked the game. I thought it was a hell of a game.
Look, man, it was a snore fest in the first half. Then we got Bad Bunny. And honestly, I loved the halftime show. I thought it was dope. I thought that was the cool. And you know what I loved about it the most, Sparky? You can't talk bad about it.
Yep.
There's nothing that they did in that halftime show that you can legitimately gripe about.
Not only did somebody actually get married,
and engaged
on the halftime show.
That was what I jokingly told my buddy too. I was like, "Watch that be real.
Yeah,
watch that be real."
Oh, it was,
and it was. It was 100%.
My favorite part, obviously, was Lady Gaga, but that's really just me.
Well, her singing, and I thought it was a really cool thing too. That granted, a lot of his songs we love to dance to, but you don't know the words to it, right? He didn't just do that, though. He took popular songs from TikTok and threw them on there as well. So even if you didn't know his music, you knew some of it that was getting played during the halftime show. So everybody gets what they want. And I swear, if you're going to text into this show and say Kid Rock was better, I'm going to call you a liar.
Yeah.
Because I saw that video.
I didn't see it, but I had a couple people text. He said, you didn't miss anything. He's lip syncing and blah, 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 blah. I personally would have never turned if I would have known Lady Gaga was there. So I was happy. I thought the halftime show was dope.
I wasn't going to change anyway. Even if I was at home, I wouldn't have switched.
I was more, and this is not just this year. I think it's been really since Instagram, is the commercials.
Yes.
Which we'll get into entertainment with our guy, Rick Bentley. But I was upset because we didn't see the Toy Story 5 trailer.
No, but we did get a Mando and Grogu trailer.
Yeah, we did get to see Woody for about 3 seconds in a jeans
that
commercial.
Would kind of threw me off.
What
was, okay, before we get to our guy, Rick Bentley, and feel free to chime in on this too, folks, 661-842-2000 if you want to text it in or call, or you can chime in the chat down below. Feel free. We'll talk about them as soon as we can get to them. But what was your most obscure commercial that you saw? I'm not going to lie to you. It was hard for me to focus on a lot of them, but the ones I did see, I already know my answer.
And a listener did text in, says Jim Nantz.
Jim Nantz, thank you. Thank you. And again, I apologize. It's an early morning, folks, and I've been dealing with a cold all weekend long. But I already know my answer to the weirdest one that I could not believe was there. The crypto commercial where it was the sing-along to the stupid, was it Backstreet Boys song
one of them,
or something? the boy band song. I was like, are we serious?
That's where we got my family together.
I'm not gonna lie.
They were all singing.
I laughed because I thought we were in the bar, like restaurant area at the time, and I know it was halftime. So I thought somebody was like, all right, real quick, we got to get this out of the way. Karaoke time. Yeah. It's like, I was like, wait, what? Like, I legitimately thought someone started karaoke. I was about to look at my waitress and say, the hell? What's going on? And then that's when the crypto started switching up, and I was like,
the Coinbase.
Oh, yep. So yeah, that was my absolute, like, what the F commercial this year was definitely the Coinbase commercial. I don't know. Did you have one? I didn't get to see.
I didn't see a lot of movie trailers. I was looking forward to the movie trailers. Me and my son got up early yesterday and went and saw Mercy. So we'll talk about some movies with Rick Bentley. But I mean, commercial wise, I mean, it seemed a lot like I'm not going to bash any of the PSAs, but it seemed a lot of PSAs. It seemed more of like the PSAs.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like, I know we talked about $8 million for a 30-second commercial. That's out of control. Mm-hmm. But there was some head scratchers. I'm not a Jew, but the hate the Jew commercials, I was like, okay.
The anti-Semitism commercials, absolutely.
I can understand if they're dealing with hate, but it seemed like a lot of PSAs personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
I was looking more for the movie trailers.
Absolutely. I think the PSAs are more just because there are a lot of organizations these days that are trying to get their voices out there more to protect
and
these
it's the best time.
Yeah. And there is no better time than the Super Bowl. I mean, we'll get into this with Rick Bentley, but there were 140 plus viewers just at halftime alone.
Right.
Alone. That broke a record. And that doesn't count the people that decided, yeah, we're not watching this. We're going to Kid Rock.
Not only did I get to see Lady Gaga at halftime, but she had the commercial where she was singing the Mr. Rogers. And she also got into another commercial. I was like, all right.
I think she's
Lady Gaga all over the place.
I don't know if they showed it during the Super Bowl. I missed this one, but she's doing work with the Pokemon company as well.
That's what it was.
Was it that one?
Yeah, where they picked their favorite Pokemons.
Their anniversary is coming up, and I know they're releasing a whole bunch of different stuff.
I had to double check. I was like, that is her, right?
No, that's her. And trust me, I'm a massive Pokemon fan, so I'm really excited to see what they do with all of this. And it again. Text in right now. Feel free to chime in 661-842-2000 if you would like to tell us your most WTF commercial before we get into it with our guy Rick Bentley. But
speaking of WTF, before we get into this Olympic story,
yes,
what the hell was going on with the Falcons rookie?
I can't defend this. I don't plan to
Did she break up with him or something?
I don't know.
I don't know what stories I've read that she had. So there's a WNBA star.
Yes, that he has been dating for quite some time.
So Falcons linebacker James Pierce Jr. is dating, and supposedly what I've got out of the ESPN story is that she had broken up with him that day, and there was some things broken, and it got ugly.
Hey, look, man, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what
when it comes to the sports side of it.
Yeah,
you think his career's over?
I don't know. It depends on how this all goes in terms of.
I mean, he's looking at some aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and aggravated stalking.
The NFL has also had its past of kind of like not protecting or sheltering these guys, but at least giving them a second chance. And he's young. Again, not defending him in any way, shape, or form, but he is young. So there is always the possibility that he turns it around. And I heard Acho talk about this, and he had a very good point. You have to do better for you. You got to do better for your family. You got to do better for men and women that are just connected to you in general. You have way too much talent in the world to be doing stuff like this. And it doesn't matter if she broke up with you. It doesn't matter if she cheated on you. And I'm saying this for everybody, not just athletes. Putting your hands on a woman in general, period, is a no.
Yeah.
No. You do not do that. I don't care if she's calling you every bad name in the book.
No. Everyone knows.
You are feeling at all angry enough to swing on something, swing on a wall.
Yeah.
Put a hole in the wall. It's much better than anything that you could potentially do otherwise. So that's why I'm saying no matter what happened that night, whether she broke up with him or they just got into a domestic dispute and it rose to this level, it doesn't matter. It's not defendable. It's not okay. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen out of this. I hope his career is not over because it was a promising start. 10.5 sacks in your rookie year is really good. In my opinion, should have been second at least, if not the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's sad, and I'm sure we'll get some more information as the story comes along. And like we had said, Kubiak is now officially the head coach of the Raiders.
I had to break that to our own Ralph Bailey last week. He had no idea. He had no
idea that he was coming, or he didn't know who he was.
No, he had no idea he was coming. He had heard the Cars talk about it and said that, oh yeah, they're predicting it's Kubiak. And I told him, I was like, you do know Kubiak already took the job.
He's agreed to terms. Last night in the post game, he said, hell yeah, I'm going to the Raiders.
Yeah, he's like, he tried to dance around it at first, and then she finally got it out of him. He's like, look, man, you guys know I'm going to the Raiders.
Right.
Like, you guys know I'm going to Vegas. I'm excited. And I know I'm excited for him. This is great. I mean, this is a first step for him. We'll see what how it could turn around this franchise with the Raiders, which, to be honest with you, is 1 or 2 good years away, 1 or 2 good drafts away from maybe being
in the mix,
competitive for a wild card spot. I would at least think. And a guy like Kubiak, I mean, it's an offense that got to a Super Bowl and won it. So you at least know he's going to be able to utilize all the pieces that you have on that offense, because Ashton's not going anywhere. You're probably going to get Fernando Mendoza, which is a great quarterback for you, but I still think you should trade back and get more pieces. That's just my personal opinion, though. But we'll see.
Clean up that Crosby stuff, and you got yourself.
I don't think he's going anywhere. If he was legitimately going anywhere, it would have happened by now.
And this is probably a couple of weeks away from the actual season starting, as I believe it's the first week of March.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a lot of moving parts, and I think it's a positive pick. I mean, for a head coach, especially what he's riding on right now.
And after losing out on so many other coaches down the line, I mean, not being able to pull in Harbaugh or any of these other guys that maybe you were favoring, Kubiak is a great choice still, that a lot of people were kind of wanting to lure him away from Seattle as well. For Vegas to be the team to do that, I think that's a great step forward. It shows that the leadership is doing the right things, whether it's Tom Brady or Mr. Davis, we don't know. But whoever is talking for the leadership, it's doing the right things and is saying the right words to get the right people in the room. So I think this is a great step forward for the Raiders. And obviously, being the radio station associate to the Raiders, we'll let you know every step of the way in the offseason of how they're going to rebuild this team. And hopefully he pulls a Ben Johnson and is able to absolutely retool this whole offensive line. And the Raiders end up being the shocking team next year in the NFL. Who knows? Who knows? Just saying. Real quick, we got about 4 minutes before we can get to a break, and then our guy Rick Bentley will be in here. We'll talk all things entertainment connected to the Super Bowl, including all the movie trailers you saw in the Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny.
The big story outside of the Super Bowl,
Lindsey Vonn. The Winter Olympics are upon us. America now has 2 gold medals. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. America. And we will be giving you guys more stories about during these games this week. We just have been obviously tied up with nothing but Super Bowl the last week, so it's really hard to talk anything else. But Lindsey Vonn had a really scary moment over the weekend. And for those who haven't been following the Lindsey Vonn story, Lindsey, who is now 41, 42, already had a titanium right knee, tore her ACL in the left knee in a crash that happened a couple months ago, I should say. I think it was actually maybe late 2025, if not early January. She tore her ACL, but was still planning on competing in the Olympics and the downhill skiing events, something that's not unprecedented. The gold medal winner for this year actually did the same thing in 2022, and Lindsey did the same thing back in 2013. After she tore her initial ACL. So this isn't unprecedented, but doing it under 2 bad knees definitely was a talking point all week long last week. Over the weekend, she took the 4th turn too fast, is what I understand, and she could not physically flip as she's supposed to, thus causing her to crash, roll over end over end. She broke her leg, was helicoptered out from the situation, went into surgery, and is now healing. We just hope and pray she's okay. She has more balls than any male athlete that I know just for trying this on no ACLs.
Right. That's insane.
I mean, so I just hope she's okay. I really do. And kudos again to the American who won. Her name escapes me right now. I'll look it up during the break. She did win the gold in the downhill skiing, but this was just a really, really, really scary situation and a really scary ending to a really cool story that we were all kind of hoping that was going to go in a better direction. Because Lindsay, during the 2 qualifiers, I believe she was around, oh God, what was it, like 11th or something like that in the first run, but she was third. She was actually third in the second one. So she had gone down this hill before and honestly was contending in third place. That's pretty crazy. But again, to have a scary, scary, scary crash like this, I'm not a doctor, nor am I good enough to sit here and tell you if it was her knees that caused the crash or if it was just the speed or what it
Flipping
was.
that gate right there.
I have no idea. I've read some, interesting talks from people who, or I should say people, athletes who are downhill skiers who kind of explained how this works. Basically, what they were saying was put your hand outside of your window while you're driving and just let it hit there or let it sit there and then take the car out of the way. And obviously your hand goes woo and all over the place, right? It's kind of the same thing that happened to Lindsay in this situation. She was going so fast she couldn't turn herself at the right angle or the right speed and contort it. So it just led to the crash. Again, I'm not smart enough to tell you if it was
Watching
the knees,
the video
but
was just,
it was scary.
whew.
It was very scary. I fell asleep on Saturday and woke up to this on Sunday, and I said, "What?" And I looked up the video and I said, "Oh God, I hope she's okay." Luckily, I say luckily, like obviously loosely here, but broken leg, went into surgery. From what I understand, the surgery went well and she is healing. We hope she heals fully and maybe we see Lindsey Vonn again.
That's
I
what she's
don't
planning
think so.
on.
I know she wants it. And if there's anybody with the chutzpah enough to get back, it's Lindsey damn Vonn. But it was just a scary, scary moment for US Olympics over the weekend. I hope she's okay. And overall, it's just one of those things that these are dangerous sports, man. They really are in the Olympics, especially skiing and snowboarding. If anybody's done that before, it may be fun, but if you don't know what you're doing, it gets ugly real damn quick. So let's take a break. We'll get to our guy Rick Bentley on the other side. I do believe he is outside, so I'll go let him in. And we'll talk all things entertainment connected to the Super Bowl, all those movie trailers you saw. Plus, Sparky was able to go see a movie over the weekend as well, so we'll get his thoughts on that and much, much more. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. I don't know how you dig some of these up.
I'm old.
Well, welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. It's time to talk entertainment with our friend Rick Bentley from KGET 17.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good to see you. I know you've been working double times here, so I appreciate you.
Hey, at my age, if anybody wants you, you're happy to be there.
You know what? That's true. And I appreciate you every step of the way, sir.
Thank you.
We got to talk about all things that happened during the Super Bowl or didn't happen during the Super Bowl as well. Because I know there's a lot of trailers that were supposed to be that weren't.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah.
Sparky has been very vocal that he's upset he didn't get his Toy Story trailer.
Yeah. And, and they faked us out with that.
Yes.
Yes, they did.
They started the commercial and we see Woody. And I made a note to myself, Toy Story. Wait, that's Levi commercial.
Too.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely ridiculous. Before we get into it, I asked him this question, so we'll start with this. But what was your most obscure commercial you saw during the Super Bowl? Like, what was the one that you watched and said, that was just weird?
And it's one that almost made my worst list. And that was the one for, and I'm not a drinker, so I don't even know the name of the vodka. Schwadeka or whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I'm not a vodka drinker.
Yeah. But it was the robots dancing.
Okay, I think I vaguely remember this one.
Yeah, to Super Freak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was just so creepy.
Yeah.
It made me want to drink, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah. No, and I was at a bar and my buddy even looked at me and said, I haven't had vodka in years, and said, yeah, and after that commercial, I don't plan on getting it ever again.
No. It's like
the one that made me laugh the most though was the Pepsi commercial.
With the polar bears.
The polar bears.
Yeah,
I said,
what a great
Pepsi stole the polar bears?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
The Ben Stiller one.
That too. The banana one where he
fell
flips off the stage.
Yeah, and you need to see the longer version of that one because
there's
a backstory about those two guys are actually brothers, and there's a whole storyline. But yeah, that fall was amazing looking. Yeah, and it also it still is always funny. I mean, it's just something about it, just the way his face. It's just so, it's so great. So, and then, talk about star-studded Super Bowl commercials.
Yes.
I mean, I think there was nobody else in Hollywood to work. They were all. I mean, you're talking about George Clooney, Ben Stiller, the Backstreet Boys, Sabrina Carpenter, Jennifer Aniston, and
Matt LeBlanc. You had
very
that
young.
entire you had the entire Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, that was
Friends
the Dunkin' Donuts
commercial.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
It would have made my top 5, but there was something a little creepy about that de-aging of all of them.
Yeah,
especially with Urkel.
Yeah,
it's like you're Urkel, but you're like 6'8".
Carlton looked like he was pulled straight off of the set of Fresh Prince. Too.
Yeah. All that de-aging stuff and yet it worked in the Jurassic Park parody.
Yes.
Yeah. That de-aging was just dead, and that commercial was just
fantastic.
Anybody who loves Jurassic Park knows that whole idea of all that chaos happened because the electricity was off, and it's like, well, we could have fixed it with Comcast Xfinity.
Yeah, it's like if you had a little bit more technology.
Exactly. I thought that really nailed it.
And you know what? They de-aged Samuel L. Jackson for that one too.
Yeah,
I was shocked. I mean,
he looked good too.
That's what I was wondering.
They de-aged all of them. George, Sam Neill, Laura Dern. Right.
I mean, the money that you have to pay for these spots, though, because I mean, we talked to the guys at Spot Block last week, and he was telling us what $8 million for 30 seconds.
They're saying now probably closer to $10 million.
Yeah, I was going to say that has to be more than that.
And the thing you don't take into consideration when you have a star-studded cast and you have computer effects, that commercial for Dunkin' probably cost around $46 million.
Yeah,
when you've paid for getting on the air and everything.
That's incredible.
That's it's not a major movie, but that's an
indie film though. That's probably more than
most indie films.
I would assume that's more than Markiplier put towards that Iron Lung movie.
Oh yeah, that was $3 million.
Yeah, I mean, like that.
I'm
that's
glad
what
you brought that up.
My
son watched that over the weekend.
Did he really?
Loved it.
Okay, I need to watch that movie because I'm a huge fan of the guy who made it. But
but you could have made 15 of those.
Yes,
for one Dunkin' commercial.
Well, that's what I'm thinking in my head. Is like, I know we spend hundreds of $1 million on movies now, but you just spent $50 million on a 1 minute commercial?
Yeah,
roughly.
Now I will tell you this. There's an extended version of that Dunkin' commercial.
Oh, is it really?
Because it basically what it was before we made the movie. There was a sitcom pilot shot, and there's that. Online you can actually see they had a jingle and all that sort of stuff. And so that part of it, okay, if that's what we're talking about, the 46 million, then that makes a little bit more sense because it is a longer version.
Yeah.
And
no, there's a longer part of this that you could see online that I totally get.
Almost all these commercials.
Yeah. And we also talked about that with the Spot Block guys. But I mean, which one to you was the standout then?
Well, call me sentimental, call me a softie. I had to go with Budweiser.
Every time. That's exactly what Spot Block said too. And honestly, it's the Clydesdales. It's patriotism.
First off, it's their 50th commercial for the Super Bowl. And it's for the 250th anniversary of America. And the Clydesdales, the Budweiser people know how to use the Clydesdales to touch our hearts. You amp that up by the Clydesdale taking care of a little chick, blocking from the rain. It's just wonderful, sweet moment. And then suddenly it becomes the most patriotic commercial I have ever seen. I almost got up and went and enlisted in the Army.
Yeah.
I felt like I want to go defend my country. I mean, I'm sentimental. I get it. I'm softy, but I also saw that the end result is that's been voted the number one commercial for the Super Bowl.
No, I had a feeling that would be the case too, because just Budweiser does a great job every single year hitting that heartstring. And
it's so clever because they're really not talking about beer.
No.
It's
not
we
once.
know that's a beer commercial, and yet it's all about animals. And
sorry, not to cut you off, but we always give grief to like the car commercials and the truck commercials for not being car commercials.
Right.
But why is it that no one gives grief to Budweiser or any of these alcohol commercials for not showing that they're about alcohol?
Well, one thing, they can't drink it.
True.
But I just feel like if it's smart, if the car people were smart, all these commercials that Budweiser have done have been so cleverly written and know that they know what Americans want. They got the pulse.
But there's nothing more American than an F-150. Nothing more American than
an Eagle.
F-150. No, that's true.
Come on,
that's absolutely true.
An Eagle and a Clydesdale.
Do it. Yeah, because at that moment, there's a moment you think, oh my gosh, the Clydesdales are actually Pegasus.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that was my favorite.
Absolutely.
I personally was expecting a lot more movie trailers.
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of glued when we were going to commercial break. I was like, all right, I'll wait until, after the game. And that's the one I thought it fell short. But what do you think?
Well, I think you're right. We did get several movie trailers, and they were fun. I thought The Mandalorian was a cool one.
Yes.
Yeah. Sam Elliott.
Narrating. Anything Sam Elliott narrates, I'm there.
Right.
He's got the voice. I think, but it is probably more notable for what wasn't there. There was no Spider-Man. There was no Avengers. I don't, and I may have been drunk and didn't see it. I don't think there was a Supergirl.
No, I didn't see Supergirl.
No, we saw the weird one, which I thought was fake, and I couldn't remember the name of it, but it was one of the ones that they had multiple trailers, and they didn't have the story one, but they did have the Mandalorian one, which I thought was really cool. And I'm not a Star Wars guy. The Hoppers one, and then we did get a Mario one.
We got a Mario. We got one for the new Spielberg.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. That's when I was like, is this real? Like, because they didn't show a lot.
Yeah. And it could have been a SNL skit. I mean, it kind of comes across like that. But I think that's what that movie's going to be about. Okay. It's one of those things. We don't want you to know what we're about.
Okay.
So we need to tell you about our movie, but So
that was going to be my next question is, do we know anything about what this movie is or what Spielberg is making right now? Because I haven't heard of any upcoming Spielberg
Let's just say I'm thinking it's Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's fair because it did seem kind of alien-esque, but at the same time, I don't know. Like there are parts of it also that made me feel like they were just making fun of the whole lizard people conspiracy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. And again, I saw what you saw. I have not seen anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it also was like the Hail Mary trailer.
Yes.
I did remember that one.
Something about that movie it doesn't make me want to see it.
That's the Brad Pitt one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No. I'm sorry. That's the one I wanted to bring up. That's the spin-off of the Tarantino movie.
Right. From Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
That's for Netflix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, that's the one that I saw that I was very curious about because I didn't know this was coming.
I think that's the first they've dropped anything.
Really?
So yeah. That's a weird thing with Netflix. And again, as an entertainment writer, I try to keep up with as much as I can.
Right.
And suddenly it'll be like, tonight on Netflix. It's like,
Right.
whoa,
It's like, yeah,
where
when
did
did
this
you
come
guys
from?
even make this?
I get 300 emails a day, and you couldn't have sent out one just saying, "Hey, we got Brad Pitt, and we got," because it all looks cool.
Oh yeah, no, I love the fact that they're trying to expand this story too, because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a great movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
And watching Brad Pitt's character, there's more to this guy than obviously this movie's giving you. I know that's traditionally how most Tarantino movies are, but like I would love for them to do this with all of them. Like go back and give us, I know you can't do it with Bruce Willis, but go back and give us a backstory to Bruce Willis's character from Pulp Fiction. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I would love for more of this.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think was the worst?
Oh, for me, it was that stupid. I said this before the break, but it was that Coinbase
The
sing along Backstreet
karaoke,
Boy
Coinbase.
karaoke one. I was sitting, and I again said this before the break, but I was sitting at the bar at the Hard Rock, and I thought they literally turned on karaoke because someone got mad at the halftime show or something like that. And I was like, "Are we serious?"
Yeah. For me, it was the one for Alexa Plus with Chris Hemsworth.
I don't think I saw this one.
Well, basically, what it came down to is he's in his house, and they put in Alexa Plus.
Oh yes.
And Hemsworth goes, "Oh, there are people that are gonna, it'll turn on us, and then they start
shut
showing
the pool on him.
They show all the ways that the Alexa could kill him by dropping the garage door on him, shutting the pool on him. So it's like, and I'm thinking, you're trying to sell me a product, and you're telling me it could kill me.
Yes.
This is the dumbest idea I've ever seen.
And then they wrapped it up with him being able to, schedule a massage through Alexa. And I was like,
I think,
okay.
well, obviously that's kind of the tone of the commercial though, right? Is to make fun of all the people who think that. And then you realize when you actually have one,
Oh,
wait, this
this
actually
for me.
helps
It did
me.
not feel like
It didn't.
that. It felt like
Scare tactic.
It just,
Yeah,
yeah, it really
tactic to
was
wake up.
that. Yeah, it's like this would have been a great thing for people who don't want to have an Alexa in their home. You know? It's
Right.
like, so yeah,
Well-
it just seemed like anti to what it should
That
have been.
was
saying.
Well, before we run out of any time, since we've talked to you last, is there any movies coming out or coming up that you're looking forward to or you've seen?
No. Well, as weird as it sounds, and I should probably not be this way anymore. The only thing really coming up this month is Scream 7.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I'm always interested in seeing how the franchise goes.
Me too.
We're just in that doldrum right now. We are just in that point where it's, well, especially this past weekend. No, theaters just ran from Super Bowl weekend, like,
Mhm.
And
I saw
Solo
Send
Mio,
Help is still the top
that
movie.
was the number one. Solo Mio was number two. That was the romantic film that I had been pushing. It's a sweet romantic film. I have no problem with that. But yeah, until we get into, I think March is going to open up some doors for us because we get as we creep closer to summer,
Right.
we'll have that. But boy, right now when I'm looking at, is it going to be GOAT that I go see, or is it Wuthering Heights, or is it yeah. Okay.
We went and saw Mercy on Sunday morning. It was one of those things. I saw the trailer watching a different movie, and I was like, "Hey, this might be good." I mean, with Chris Pratt and the whole.
I hated that movie.
I wasn't a big fan. I mean, I wouldn't say I hated it,
Well,
but it was
I don't know how
not
much
what
time-
I was expecting.
I don't have how much time we have, but I want to say the whole premise of that movie is that you have 90 minutes to clear your name.
Right.
Okay. I can get that if you're a detective and you have an
Mhm.
idea. If you put me in a chair and said you have 90 minutes to clear your name, I don't care what technology you give me. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just throw the switch. You don't wait the 90 minutes. I'm not going to figure this out.
I personally thought it was going to be them kind of showing earlier cases. I didn't expect, the whole movie with Chris Pratt sitting in the court, the whole movie.
Yeah. And then we're seeing all these, and it's just showing you the technology and all that sort of stuff.
It almost goes back to the commercial you didn't like.
Yeah, exactly. It's that technology thing. And so, but again, the whole, I hate a movie if the premise is so bad that the whole thing can't work.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line with this thing. You have 90 minutes. And if you're a drug addict that's been charged with killing 16 people and you're sitting there and you don't even have your senses to know your name. So can you defend yourself?
Right.
No, it's the whole problem.
And I probably should have went and saw Send Help instead because
Send Help is really good.
Is it?
Now, I will tell you this. There are two big twists in it. I saw them coming about an hour before they arrived. But
Of course, it's a traditional horror movie.
yeah. Well, but it doesn't start out like that. For about the first 20, 30 minutes, you think, oh, this could end up being, a romantic comedy.
Right.
Two people opposites land on a deserted island. They've got to count on each other. Will they find love? Then you got to remember.
This is more of a realistic look at what would happen if that happens.
Sam Raimi directing.
Yeah.
And you got to know that things are going to get dark very fast.
I love Sam Raimi's horror
and
movies.
They set it up because the woman who ends up having to take care of them has been a big fan of the TV show Survivor. So she has spent she has spent her years studying how to start fire, how to get what to eat on a desert. So she had Survivor, and it wasn't like suddenly some average person stood on the island and I guess I made fire. I don't know how I did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one.
Is it based on her having a mean boss?
Oh yeah, he's the new boss. It's one of those nepotism jobs. She was promised a promotion. He gives it to his golfing buddy, and they want to get rid of her, but they need her for one last big deal in Thailand. So they're all taking a plane flight there, and the boss and her are the only ones that survived the plane.
Okay. Anything else besides streaming? Which I've watched a lot of things streaming. It seems like I make this list and I'm like, okay, which one was it on? Is there anything streaming out right now that you would prefer somebody to watch?
Yes. Starting this week, the second season of Cross, the Alex Cross character based on the Patterson's books. The second season is very good.
Oh, great.
And so I would recommend that. I would recommend there's the Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid that like the plague. It's Glee in space. I hate this show so much. And I am a huge Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
So, and I've watched all of it along the way and sort of endured a lot of it. This is just awful.
Dang it.
I mean, it's all about teen angst. It's not about we're gonna fight the Borg. No, it's will they date? Oh, I don't know. They're from another species. Should species? Well, yeah, blah blah blah. I hate that show. I hate that. So
okay,
avoid it.
That's why I'm surprised, because traditionally with those like the Alex Cross-esque shows, season 2 and on is usually where it starts to fade off. That's why I'm very happy to hear this one's doing well.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, again, it's great writing. It's just a super cast. And then you have like Matthew Lillard has come on this season, second season as the villain.
I've heard that.
Sort of a weird sort of like. Well,
isn't he supposed to be joining the Daredevil series?
He's in the
well?
Daredevil season as well.
Is he? I love Matthew Lillard. Have my entire life, but has the internet popularity created this resurgence for him, you think?
I think so. There was a while there was like, well, where did Matthew,
where did he
isn't
even
there
go?
another Scooby-Doo movie we need to do?
Right. Well, he's the perfect Shaggy.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He was born to play Shaggy. Have you guys watched Wonder Man on Disney
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen clips and it looks fantastic.
I watched 4 and I have no idea what's going on.
Really? Dang it.
I did watch The Running Man.
The Ryan Gosling one.
Don't you read my stuff? Don't I?
Hey,
you know what?
No. Trying to find something that a whole family will watch together is
kind of hard.
But that's like saying we're going on a road trip to a prison. It's like you're doing it together, but who wants to go?
It was that bad. I thought it was better than Mercy.
You know what?
Well,
that's not putting it up against bad competition, though.
Typhoid is better than the plague, but
it's still the plague.
But they're both bad. Yeah.
It's the best of the worst.
Real quick, before we let you go, when can we expect the trailers, you think, that we didn't get? When are we going to see Spider-Man and Avengers come out? March.
Yeah, I really feel it. Well,
probably around the same time Grogu and Mando.
We won't see Avengers. There's some out already online.
Right.
But that's
but like a full
Well, we're going to see a full-scale push in March on Spider-Man.
Okay.
We certainly, I don't know how much we're going to get on Supergirl. Everything I see about Supergirl feels like they're beginning to pull back because Superman didn't do what they expected. So I don't think they're going to, I think that's why they didn't buy a Super Bowl spot. Why spend that much money if we know we're not going to make that?
Well, it's a character that's not as popular as Superman as well. So it's not going to pull.
And you're going a whole different direction with making Supergirl dark and everything like that. And then we'll see the Avengers probably come August. That's when they're really going to put the full court press on it.
Toy Story?
We should see that in March
as well.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We got to get through Hoppers first. They're gonna push Hoppers big.
They do only push one at a time. That's
it makes sense. It's like, well, I'm not going to go see Hoppers because Toy Story is coming out, but that's not for another 2 months.
Absolutely.
Let's go see Hoppers.
And then real quick, I know we only have about a minute here, but Bad Bunny, what'd you think?
I thought it was a tremendous show. I thought it was well done. It was I don't speak a word of Spanish. I knew everything. I mean, I knew everything was going on. The music was wonderful. I love all the celebrity appearances there. The only thing I would have said, and this is the old man in me, I really kind of thought maybe some closed captioning at the bottom
my
would
friend
not have been
said
a
the
bad
same
thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn Spanish,
right?
But I'm just saying for those who don't, that would have not have been a bad thing.
No, it wouldn't have been a bad choice. But at the same time, I don't think a lot of people would have read the captions anyway.
No, it's the music you're there for.
But the pure amount of just love in that entire halftime show, the wedding that happened during, which was legit, the engagement that happened, which was legit, was awesome. And like you said, the ridiculous amount of celebrities. I don't have enough time to name them off, but Pedro Pascal was also back there. I thought it was great.
And the Bad Bunny dancers.
Yeah, absolutely. Woo! That was fantastic. Sir, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. We got to take a break. Our guys from Made You Laugh Monday are coming up next. This is the Early Bird Special. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. It is a Monday at 8 o'clock. So our guy Trevor Chavez is here from Made You Laugh Mondays. Good, sir.
Hey,
good to see you.
Guys, good to see you this Monday morning. How you guys doing?
Super Bowl is over, so there's a little bit of depression. I don't get to talk football for the next, couple months.
Yeah, I get it. I'm vaguely riding high because my beloved Michigan State Spartans had a real good weekend, so I'm feeling solid about it. Yeah,
yes, you did.
Between Kenneth Walker III and that Illinois win, I'm feeling great. And I had a show in LA this weekend, so
Nice.
I saw a video the other day that I meant to send to you, but it was Coach Izzo just ripping some of your player or one of your players because he was playing dirty. Is that what it was?
Was that the Michigan game?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that was. I get it, and I think I'm trying to remember who he was talking about. But yeah, that was just a contested game because I can't remember who was stepping in front of our players, and that was just a dirty game all around, which just tells you everything you need to know about that rivalry.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And if it is the Michigan game, it makes a lot of sense. But he was just ripping the players because one of them specifically was being overly dirty. And he had claimed, if you continue that, I'm benching you as of right now.
Yeah, no, I can't remember who he was talking about, but yeah, I'm almost positive it was the Michigan game, and it was a rough one back and forth.
Well, you got to love Coach Izzo for at least stepping up and telling the guys play right, or you're not playing for me at all.
This is why we love him. But before I get too deep into sports, let me go ahead and introduce the guy I brought with me for today.
Absolutely.
I figured, hey, with everything that went on, with the Super Bowl yesterday, I figured I'd bring Bakersfield's comedy's very own Bad Bunny impersonator, Ivan Sanchez. We call him Horrible Hair. No, I'm kidding, guys. This guy, he's one of the young guns of the scene. If you haven't heard about him yet, you need to start watching him. I took notice of him very early on. And I call him one of my boys because he's young enough to be my son, but I dig him. Guys, introducing Ivan Sanchez.
Sir.
Hey, howdy, Cowboys. How's it going?
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you.
Here, just
So let's get this out of the way for people who aren't watching on YouTube. How old are you? Because you look like you're 12.
I am a young Bad Bunny, 23 years old.
Okay,
young
fantastic.
Yeah.
When did you start comedy?
I started when I was 19, so about 4 years ago.
Okay, so you've been in the game for a while now. What made you get started?
Just hating college, not very fun.
What college were you at, BC?
Yeah, I started at Fresno State for a semester or two.
Did you really?
Yeah. And then never actually went on campus because campus was closed down. So just did it all
during the
online.
COVID year.
Yeah. That's when I graduated high school.
Okay.
And then just went to BC, did all that, got bored of it.
Man, that must have been a rough transition though, because you went from high school. You did not have COVID in high school, right? COVID wasn't a thing. So
no, it was.
Oh, it was. Okay, so your senior year was absolutely destroyed by COVID.
Kind of. It was in like March, right?
Right.
And then we graduated like June. So the last 3 months of school were just like online.
So obviously, this obviously just pushed you towards the comedy realm, though. What was your first experience like?
First experience was horrible because everybody is dog shit when you do it.
Well,
so
I
bad.
mean, it is pretty rough. But at this point, like, obviously, you've been doing it for a while, right? You've been doing it for 4 years. What has kind of kept you going since that first time?
Little wins every now and then.
Yeah.
It's a long way down, but you have tiny little wins that are pretty fun sometimes.
And obviously, the Bad Bunny impersonation gets some people's attention.
Yeah, you get to pretend like you're doing stuff, even though you're just hanging out with losers and stuff. It makes you feel productive, even though you're just hanging out.
100%.
Yeah.
So
cool.
You've obviously been with this guy for a while now. Are you a pretty big mainstay on Made You Laugh Mondays over there at Firehouse?
We're good partners.
Yeah.
Ivan loves to constantly work a shtick every time he comes up to me and be like super like, hey, can I just maybe get a time
on?
Make
sure I'm respecting your time. That's it.
Even though he's there every week, he's like, can I make sure I get a spot this week? Would that be okay?
I go, hey, big guy.
Yeah.
Hey, big guy. Just want to ask a favor. I heard you're the guy to talk to. Just want to build up his ego.
That's how you do it.
And meanwhile, I'm just like, why are you wasting my time? I'm trying to get stuff done. Why are you going through this whole shtick every single week?
Because he knows if he goes to you, stuff gets done. But if he goes to Tyson, it just goes right back to you.
Yeah, he's like a hot girl. You got to stroke his ego just
exactly.
All right, I'll accept that. I'll accept that answer.
Yeah. As long as it's a working relationship.
Again, I give him so much grief, but I love the hell out of this kid. I'll say it. He's got a funny, like, he does dumb comedy like I've never seen before, because I've always felt like you have to be smart to do dumb comedy really well.
Okay. Well, before I expand on that, what does he mean by dumb comedy?
Like frat boy dumb, like
Okay.
like dad joke kind of stuff, like horrible,
okay.
horrible.
Well, that's got a big surge right now on social media. People love dad jokes. I mean,
that's my hinge openers. Yeah, dad jokes all the way. That's how you work dating apps nowadays. You got to be as stupid as you can be.
You honestly do.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. Well, I haven't been on one in about 5 years, but even back then it was that bad.
Cheating.
So,
What?
No, never, no.
For any listeners that don't know what we're talking about, the Made You Laugh Mondays, every Monday, Firehouse.
Every Monday, Firehouse Rosedale Station. Show starts at 7 o'clock. We do signups at 6:30. If you want to come check it out, if you want to ever even try stand-up comedy for the first time, all you have to do is come find me. I will be right near the front with the sign-up sheet. If you want to try and mess with me the way Ivan does, go for it. If you want to try and stroke my ego the way Ivan does, go for it.
It might get you on the list.
Maybe you'll get you on the list. We don't know. No, it'll definitely get you on the list. We love first timers at Made You Laugh Mondays, but we're excited about it this week. I'm going with the tagline: guaranteed to be better than the Super Bowl ads this year.
Oh, come on. The Super Bowl ads.
They were terrible. They were egregious. If you're an ad exec, like, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, but before I get to this, obviously no more football on Mondays.
No more football on Mondays.
Did the deals go as well over at Firehouse?
I have to double check this, but as far as I know, it is still a burger special Monday. So get yourself a burger and fries.
So there's
special.
no reason for you not to go.
Yeah,
down
there's no reason not to
see
show
comedy
up
at the same time. And then back to the commercials here. What was your issue with the commercials this year?
They were okay. What kind of dystopian Watchmen ads have we fallen into where everything's just like seems like supercuts with catchphrases? Like, nothing has a narrative or an idea. It's all just random stuff they're throwing at you in bright colors. Like, that's it.
So you want your commercials to be movies as well?
I want my commercials to express an idea and feel like someone has written it other than ChatGPT. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, like, what was the worst one to you?
The one that I felt was the most egregious was the Ritz ad.
The Ritz ad?
Where it was Carlton? Scarlett Johansson on like a jet ski and John Hamm yelling at her. And the whole idea was like salty people love Ritz. Like, that's the
crackers.
Thinnest veil of an idea you could. So you're telling me the Nabisco Corporation poured $5 million down the drain for that? If I was the CEO, I would
more than 5.
Oh, I'm sure it was. If I was the CEO of that company, I would roll up on that ad company like they sold me a bag of oregano in the 90s. Like, that's how that's going down.
They paid $8 million plus what they had to pay these actors and actresses to be on it for a cracker commercial.
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying. It's got to be well more than 5, but I don't think they were that bad. Like, I thought some of them were really funny.
Some of them were really bad.
I love the Duncan one. I really did.
I was waiting for movie trailers personally because I was.
But the fact that the Duncan one is the best of the bunch, the fact that meh is the top of the heap.
I must have missed it though. But
either that one or the Ben Stiller one falling off stage was pretty good.
Okay, that was okay.
But out of 50, 60 commercials, and you're picking 2 or 3 that were good.
Yeah, the best fair. Budweiser can come up with is it's an eagle, get it? That's
first off, don't you dare talk about those.
He loved that one.
I love Budweiser. I hate the beer. Don't get me wrong. I will never drink the beer, but the commercial is fantastic.
But again, that was the mid to upper of the pack, and the best that you're giving me is it's an eagle, get it? Like, really? But on the upside, I do feel like now I understand why people love my comedy writing so much. It's a lot reason why I get dates. It's not because I'm good. It's because everyone else is trash. That's why it's working out for me.
I think by far the semi-glutide commercial was the best one.
Semi-glutide? Yeah. Oh, is that the Serena Williams one?
I don't know about her. I think you're just guessing that. It was like Kenan Thompson, and then it was DJ Khaled, and it was like semi-glutide pills, and he was just like, another one. It was crazy.
DJ Khaled.
And he was still fat, though.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that the one where they're like, if you could take a pill for this, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'm sure.
But they didn't even make a skinny AI DJ Khaled. They just made fat DJ Khaled sell the pill. It made no sense at all.
You have to wait though. Maybe that's one of those that we see next year. He does another one, and now he's skinny.
Another one.
And now he's skinny,
on it.
and he looks, ripped. And now DJ Khaled, looks completely different.
No,
like a different
the
race.
one I heard you guys talking about when I was coming in that I totally agree with you with is the the coin ad where it's clearly like, oh, let's just put the really you just bought Backstreet Boys karaoke and then you poured $10 million down the drain for that. What are you doing?
So
what are you doing?
Or the T-Mobile one with the actual Backstreet Boys.
Yes, where Drewski was crying and snot run down his or his nose.
Ending with the machine gun.
Did I miss the Doritos commercial? Was there a Doritos commercial?
Not that stood out that I would remember.
I didn't think so, because traditionally Doritos are usually have the best one. Doritos or Mountain Dew traditionally have the best one, because last year we got, like we've talked about on the show, we had the Seal commercial last year, and then the Doritos commercial that was actually made here in Bakersfield, which was the alien one, where the kid gets or fights over the Dorito with the aliens.
Right. I mean, even last year, even the one that like threw people off, like the wizard hat one, where like people were like, oh, that was a super weird ad. Shout out Bakersfield comedian Bruce Gray for being in that one. But no, there you could see the point was to make it so weird it got people talking about it.
Right.
I don't understand the point of these ads this year, other than it was just a bunch of ad execs looking at their Instagram or TikTok feed going, hey, let's try and hook people on catchphrases.
I wonder how many actually went the route in which you're talking about, which is they just had ChatGPT make them a Super Bowl ad.
I could see that too.
Yeah,
because
that's what it feels like.
One of the Super Bowl ads, not to highlight it again, but I hate this ad ever since it came out a couple months ago, is that stupid NFL AI ad where they're looking at rookies and he's like, which rookie has the best this and that, and then it narrows it down to the one. I'm like, dude, if you're an NFL scout and you're relying on AI to find the player for you, I don't want you.
Yeah,
you're clearly not fit for the job.
Unless you programmed the AI system itself, unless you came up with,
I still don't want you doing that.
Okay,
I don't want any scout using AI for anything, because your whole job, your entire job, is to look at talent, assess talent, and realize this guy's got talent and he needs to be on my team.
So you're anti-stats based scouting. You're like Moneyball can.
No, you can
use
stats in your scouting. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm saying if you use AI to narrow down which ones look the best, you're an idiot.
No,
you don't need AI to do that yourself.
Right. Unless my thinking is unless it's a system you created to look at stats nobody else does, and you want to go, hey, let me take a different look at it. Yeah. Then that's one thing. But yeah,
that's a completely different thing.
If step one is
if you go to ChatGPT and say, hey, this player, which one's better?
That's exactly how I gamble.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Prize Picks. Who's gonna win today?
I see my buddy was doing that at the bar yesterday. He was looking up like the different prop bets you can do on this app. If certain player scores the next touchdown, and it'll tell you right underneath how much money you'll make too based off of it. And I'm just sitting there like scratching my head like, I don't know how you all do this.
Bull Brady would slap you.
Absolutely.
Well, you already brought up Bad Bunny. So what'd you think about the halftime show?
I thought it was solid. Ivan, I'll let you take this one first, because I think you and I, we were. Okay. We'll let the professional talk about Bad Bunny.
I think we finally got to show the whole world how horny Mexicans could be.
Oh my God.
I know he's Puerto Rican, but it's the same shit.
Well, I mean, at this point, this has got to be the most entertaining halftime show we've gotten in years. I mean, again, and it's definitely one you can't talk ill about.
Yeah,
I really can't.
I would say between this and Kendrick Lamar, they're on a little bit of a hot streak.
Yeah. Well, I love Kendrick, but everybody just found everything to hate about the
I like the guy.
I like it too.
Well, with Bad Bunny,
Dr. Dre one too was fantastic. But like again, this one coming in had all the hate in the world just because people were like, he's not even American. It's like, you clearly don't know.
Yeah, you clearly
what
don't
America is.
Understand what
like
the.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh. I saw.
I'm also a big Lady Gaga fan, so
that was really cool.
Lady Gaga's up in here.
For me, the two big moments were, and I didn't expect this to touch me as much as it did in my heart. But the moment where Bad Bunny went over to the kid that was sleeping on the chairs at the wedding, I even as a Hispanic named Trevor, I felt that in my soul. I was like, oh, I feel represented.
The kids asleep on a football.
Find me one Latino that hasn't fallen asleep at a wedding or a family party before. Find me
100%. And again, that's what I love too, is that the weddings were legit. That was an actual couple that got married. And apparently how this all went down was they invited Bad Bunny to their wedding. And Bad Bunny in return said, "That's fine. I'll come to your wedding, but do you want to be part of my Super Bowl my Super Bowl show?"
rad.
So that's how they got to do that. And then apparently the dancers that got engaged during as well at the beginning was also legit. That was 2 of his dancers actually getting engaged during the show.
Wow.
So I like this entire thing obviously was to highlight, love fixes all this type of stuff, especially the hate that's thrown around. But I laughed so hard when I'm watching this incredible halftime show. And then just because I'm curious, you have to go online to see what Kid Rock's look like. And it's lip syncing. It's all bureaucratic old white people going, yeah. It's like, it's so dumb, dude. It looks so bad. And the thing that I had to highlight too, and I highlighted to my buddy, 10 years ago, those same people that are bobbing their head to Kid Rock were cursing his name and hated his guts.
Because it's always been a grift for him, dude. I'll put it out there. He's not from Detroit. He's from Taylor. His parents lived in a big house in a suburb.
This is Michigan hate right here.
Oh, and that is why it's a clear dividing line between Eminem and Kid Rock, because when Kid Rock realized he could no longer win Detroit, he went for the rest of the state. Oh, and 100%. That is why Detroit rides hard for Eminem, as do I.
And he is also the most famous person to come out of your state. So if you didn't, I'd really be curious as to why. But overall, though, halftime show was pretty good in your guys' opinion.
It was solid. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up, Ricky Martin out here looking real good.
Right? I thought that was Mexican Travis Kelce.
Has not
I wasn't sure.
a day.
I had to double check.
Well, here's the thing about Ricky. He showed all of the MAGA women. Here's how you do plastic surgery right, ladies.
I thought that was Travis Kelce in blackface, to be honest.
Oh my God.
I did not know who Ricky Martin was.
Yeah, well, he is way before your time, so that makes a lot of sense.
And they were talking a lot of crap saying, they're doing it all in Spanish or it's not in English, blah, blah. And then they go to Kid Rock. I'm like, what the hell does ball to bombing? I mean, come on.
Not even that, but it's just the lip syncing part of it. All of it was staged. I didn't watch it.
I enjoyed our halftime show. So,
and the cool thing too that we didn't get to talk about with our guy Rick Bentley was the pure amount of celebrities that were in on the halftime show as well, if you noticed, because Cardi B was in there, Pedro Pascal, baseball fans, Ronald Acuna Jr. was in the back as well.
I missed him.
Like there were a ton, J-Lo, Jessica Alba. I mean, there was a ton of them that just, and it was weird to me because like you got one quick pan to all of them, and then as soon as they got to Pedro, they just went whoop. They didn't even give Pedro any screen time at all.
He would have touched.
It was just, but the rest of it was fantastic.
He's been respectful. Did you not see the SNL episode where Sabrina Carpenter was trying to get all up on him and he was having none of it? He was like, I do not want this controversy.
He wanted it.
Well,
he don't want the controversy though. That's what he don't want.
He's gone through a lot of controversy since
let's keep it rolling.
Well, the internet has absolutely highlighted his just touchy nature with some of his female co-stars. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because during the media press tour for Fantastic Four, those two looked like they were legitimately married.
I thought that baby was real, yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think a lot of people did. We are running out of time though, gentlemen. Thank you so much for yours. Made You Laugh Monday tonight at Firehouse. Yes,
Firehouse. If you sign-ups are at 6:30, shows at 7. Tyson and I will be there hanging out as early as 6 o'clock. So if you want to
stroke that ego,
hey, that's how you get the good spots on the show. That's how you don't go last.
Of course. And are you going to be there tonight?
I'll be there. Yeah.
Fantastic. Probably one of the best ones on stage. Ivan, thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate you. And we're going to most likely have you on again at some point if Trevor, decides to bring you down again.
I'll stroke him, but
you got to stroke the ego a little bit more.
I'll get him going.
He's climbing up the charts, ladies and gentlemen. He's climbing up the charts.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. We got to take a break. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. We're going to do a quick segment here before we get to our guys' snacks. The other side, talk all things NBA after the trade deadline last week, plus the All-Star game's coming up. And they made a Shedeur Sanders-like move. I'll explain that on the other side. But we have an update in terms of the Atlanta Falcons rookie James Pierce's entire situation. This is coming from ESPN's Mark Raimondi. It says the Atlanta Falcons rookie James Pierce Jr. allegedly crashed a vehicle into one being driven by WNBA player Rakia Jackson multiple times and struck a police officer with the vehicle while evading arrest. Going back to your initial question from the beginning of the show, my friend, I'm not going to lie to you. This kid's career is probably done. It's OVA. I already said at the beginning of the show, but you can't defend this type of behavior regardless. But you rammed a car into her car multiple times and hit a cop. This boy's done. It's OVA. It's done.
Think so?
This is, again, especially if he faces all the brunt of this punishment from the judicial system. Yeah. I mean, at least his time in Atlanta is, I would assume, because there's no way Arthur Blank just accepts this. And if he does, I think there'd be a lot of questions from the media and from the fan base as to why you're just willing to overlook this egregious behavior. Because, again, a car. When we first heard about this, all we heard was battery and a domestic dispute. No, or at least that I saw, no indication that vehicles were involved and in evading police afterwards. Now, again, whether he got very far in the car or not, I don't know. I have to do a little more research into this, but yeah, no, if I had to guess right now, unfortunately, the young and promising career of James Pierce Jr. might be done. This might just be another what if situation that unfortunately sucks, because we were looking at one of the most promising linebacker defensive ends since Micah Parsons.
Sacks, man. I mean, 10.5 sacks for a rookie.
That's great. And he had all the talent in the world, man. And at first, when you hear, like I said at the beginning of the show, before I had seen this update that came out about an hour ago, what we heard at the beginning, it was a dispute over a breakup. The NFL has overlooked some crazier things, but this, you can't overlook this. You can't just turn a blind eye just because the guy is talented. I mean, it's too much. It really is. Let's take a break. Let's get into the NBA on the other side. Hopefully lighten up the mood a little bit more with our guys' snacks. This is the early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. All right. This is the early bird special right here on KGET Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. It's hard for me not to listen to Bill Withers. I love this song so much. But it's time to talk NBA basketball with our guy Snacks because there's a ton that's going on ahead of the All-Star game, and I have to get his thoughts on this. Sir, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Where do you want to start, my friend? The big names that got moved during the deadline, or should we go to the All-Star game?
Well, let's just knock out the lousy All-Star game.
Okay. I had a feeling you wanted to start there. First and foremost, biggest story that I saw coming out of the weekend when it comes to the All-Star weekend, Damian Lillard will be taking place in the three-point contest, and he hasn't played a single game in the NBA this year, although he will be donning the Portland Trail Blazers jersey since he does technically play for them. How is this a thing? Or do you kind of agree with me that this is just on the level of the NFL putting Shedeur Sanders in the Pro Bowl just so they'll get more eyes on the product?
Yeah, I don't even think they get more eyes on the product because is he going to be shooting free throws from the three-point line? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he's not injured or if he's too injured to play, how is he supposed to win a three-point contest?
This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good for like the players. I won't say the league, but the players, because now it really comes off of you're just taking money, or you just sitting out because you don't want to play for a team you don't want to play for. Like, what is the situation? Like, they have to come down to why players aren't wanting to play. And right. I know that the whole Achilles injury is happening more often and whatnot, which is wild to me.
Right.
Because again, like we always discuss that they have so much better things in today's game than they did back in the past. So I think the league really has to sit down and figure out what is really keeping players out from playing throughout, either shorten the season or come up with a whole different thing. And with all the All-Star games outside baseball or hockey, get rid of the games. Like nobody they don't want to play. Mm-hmm. Half of them barely want to be there, depending on the city it's in. So I know I didn't answer the question, but this what it all boils. This what it all boils down to. Like, again, when is the last time Damian Lillard played a game? He's been out for 2 years, right?
Right. And again,
so how do you go out? How do you go reach him out and say, hey, can you do the 3-point contest? When you have players on 32 other teams you can reach out to.
Right. Well, and we have said that on this show for a while, but so you don't have don't feel bad for that at all. Me and Sparky both are in the same boat as you, that the NBA All-Star game, I mean, the Pro Bowl, all that, you could really just get rid of it. It has been sour for years and it hasn't really come back to what it used to be anyway. Maybe one day it will, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But I mean, looking at this whole Damian Lillard thing, he had a serious Achilles tendon injury that has kept him out for this long. Like you said, there's got to be some conversations, at least with the league and even the Portland Trail Blazers, saying, okay, so Damian's too hurt to play a game of basketball, but the league can reach out to him and say, hey, you're a 2-time 3-point, contest winner. Can you come and do it again? And if that's what you're trying to do, why not go a different route and maybe try to pull in a now retired shooter? Or even somebody from the WNBA. I don't understand why.
Get Reggie Miller out there.
Well, Reggie would be interesting because he does talk the most, but I'm sitting here thinking, if you're looking for somebody who's been a multi-time champion that you want to bring back to challenge somebody, Jason Capono probably would play. You just saw him not too long ago. Like Sparky just said, Reggie Miller, all these guys, shooters continue to shoot, but a guy with an Achilles tendon injury, I saw that this week and said he hasn't played a single game of basketball. You can't sit there and tell me that you couldn't find another player to come and fill this spot.
Yeah, when I saw it, I didn't think it was real.
No, it's legit.
Personally, I was like, what?
Then looking at the rest of the lineup, though, Devin Booker, Concanoopel, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Bobby Portis Jr., and Norman Powell. He's not beating them, right?
You might as well add Tyrese Halliburton.
Right. Yeah, let's let Tyrese shoot some from a wheelchair.
Yeah, Justin Tatum. Jason Tatum. I keep thinking of his dad. Sorry. And then who else is hurt? Steph. You might as well add those three.
I'm just like, I saw this and I said, there's no way they
throw
can
out
really
Anthony
do
Davis.
This, right?
I mean, everyone. But
yeah, just have a hurt All-Star game.
Well, we haven't talked to you since the trade deadline. Was there any big trades that you were like, well, okay, this might work for this team? And I know I mentioned Anthony Davis, and then a couple days after, he said, well, he's going to sit out the rest of the season. Big surprise, not really. But is there any big trades that you were like, okay?
This won't be a big answer for me. No. I think the Washington Wizards are the ones that got screwed the most because everybody they traded for is sitting out the rest of the season, which sucks for them because, like, it was a point where the Wizards were actually contenders
right.
in the Eastern Conference Finals, and now nobody wants to go there. And I don't think Washington is a bad place to be in, to live in. So I don't know, man. The hard part, the hardest person to watch play right now is LeBron. He's atrocious. I'm surprised they haven't traded him yet.
Well, if they could, I'm sure they would.
On the defensive.
They're probably waiting for that to be a thing, or at least moving on from LeBron. That is, and I don't know if you can find it, Spark, but I did.
He's looked bad.
Pulled some audio from last week. John Doss went on Greg Kerr's show, and John Doss is a reporter out there in Cleveland, the sports reporter, and pretty much confirmed a theory that I've had for years, which is LeBron wants to make his final dance in Cleveland. He doesn't want to end it in LA. Like, not that he wouldn't end it in Los Angeles, but I think if it was up to him, he would move on to a team like Cleveland, which is probably why Cleveland moved on from a guy like Darius Garland, because not only was he injury prone, but it brings on a guy like James Harden, who can now, along with Donovan Mitchell, convince LeBron to come to Cleveland next year on a team-friendly deal, if there is anything known for that with a guy like LeBron James, and potentially get one last ring before he, rides off into the sunset. What do you think on that?
And granted, I know he's a billionaire, but that's a lot of moving. Like, you want me to go back for 1 year just to play one final year, do one last dance when you're going to end up living in LA probably the rest of your. It's just a lot going on. Another team, as we talked about in the trade, the Bulls, they added all guards.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys thinking? One of you are Bulls fans, right?
Yeah, I'm a Bulls fan, and I was scratching my head. And even this weekend, I was reading, and I saw that the Kobe White, he'd failed his physical. I was like, cool, we're going to get him back, right? No, they just took a second-round pick off. I don't know what they're planning on doing with 20 second-round picks, but it's the Bulls, and they come out as an organization, say, we're tired of being in the middle of the pack, so we're doing all this to get up into the top. I mean, what are you doing? First of all, middle of the pack is a compliment if you think that's what we've been doing for the last 20 years. And second of all, what are you doing? I mean, one, I was pissed because they traded with Boston. I was like, you can trade anybody, man. Just don't trade them to Boston.
Right.
And the first thing they do.
Yeah. The Bulls are like the Cleveland Browns of football. Like, they just know how to mess up a season or organization.
They get my hopes up. They started the season out. I was like, okay, this young team might be, get over this play-in with the Miami Heat this year. And no. We'd be happy to get in the play-in if at all.
Well, and with the Hornets, who you traded with, absolutely on fire. And Snacks, you were the first one to actually point us in that direction when it came to the Hornets. What do you think of them right now? Because they made a couple key trades that might boost their chances to get out of the play-in and into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've always believed about the Hornets. Like, they're a good young core. They just needed some pieces to maybe a veteran piece or two. I didn't see who they added, but just a veteran piece or two to help them get over the hump. I mean, I know people always like to talk about Lil Ball, but dude is a baller, man. Like, he's just it's just in his blood. Him and his brothers. The nipple is he's there. is a baller. Like those, that's a young core that just love the game and they got a good chemistry. They have fun playing with each other, and so you just need. I think they just needed like a couple veteran pieces that get them over the hump. So and I just saw it in them from the beginning of the season.
So the Hornets got rid of Colin Sexton, Omasadang Dang, and Titus Jones, and they got back Kobe White, Mike Conley Jr., Xavier Tillman Sr., and Malachi Bronman. Or I'm sorry,
Mike Conley Jr. in itself was the biggest ad they can have as a veteran piece.
Absolutely. And the other rumor that I hear now is after Cleveland traded Lonzo away and they waived him, the possibility of Lonzo coming and playing in Charlotte with his brother is now high. Is that a possibility, you think?
Now that I don't see as a bad thing. I mean, two siblings have played together all their lives. Mm-hmm. Now in the same team. Now you're bringing a different energy. Mm-hmm. And now Mike Conley Jr. can just be a mentor on the bench now and lead them from the bench and kind of be like a player coach. And then when you need him, bring him in. You don't have to play a ton of minutes now.
Right. I agree. And honestly,
you still can use Knipple as a small forward and just add two bigs to, do screen and roll, get a rebound or two, and let's push the ball.
And the more and more I saw this and thought about it, the more I keep thinking if there's one person that can get the most out of LaMelo, it's his brother. His brother can be there on the bench looking at him saying, come on, dude, you're not playing to your full ability here. And imagine those two on the court at the same time. One, I know LeVar has been dying to see that since LaMelo got into the league. But they really could have a pretty impressive fast break game there with the two of them running the point.
And I think a lot of people sleep on not to interrupt you, but I think a lot of people sleep on Lonzo's basketball IQ.
Yes, very much.
Lonzo Ball has I hear a lot of players love playing with Lonzo,
right?
Having him on the team because he knows when to speed up the game, but he also knows when to slow it down. He's a scorer. He'll get out and defend. Mm-hmm. He'll get a couple of rebounds and whatnot. So again, I don't think he's ever a bad piece to add to any team, as long as you got the right core around him.
And tell me if I'm wrong here, but if I'm the Hornets, I'm looking at what the Pacers did last year, and I'm doing my best to copy that formula because
Absolutely.
The way the Pacers were able to push the ball during the playoffs and just make teams tired no matter who they played against, whether they played up to a team that should have destroyed them or down to a team that was worse than them, they ran them out of a gym. And if you can do that, especially with a guy like LaMelo, you want to talk about him dropping 30 points a game. I mean, it could genuinely happen if they played this correctly.
Yeah.
And I know for the last couple of weeks, we talked about, if Giannis is going to get traded, if not, if they're just going to let it ride out and kind of let him decide where he's going. Obviously, we didn't see Giannis get traded. I know over the weekend they picked up Cam Thomas that was just recently cut. What do you think in this when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis?
It's almost like the LeBron situation for me. It's like just get rid of him,
just let it ride out.
It's come to an end. Like let's move on. We know LeBron's coming down to his last 2 or 3 years. Giannis, he's done his time in Milwaukee. We've been known that he wants to be out of there. The only place I really see Giannis is in New York, the Knicks, or Brooklyn. That's the only market I see him going to. Mm-hmm. He's not coming to LA to play with Luka. I would be shocked if that was the case. Unless they move LeBron and they move him out to LA. I just don't see him going anywhere but to a bigger market because he's done the small market. And I think that's what I keep seeing from his energy. Like he just wants to be in a bigger market. And to grab more money outside the basketball game. But I just think a lot of these organizations hold on too long with some of these good players, and
right.
You got to understand the financial side. He's still bringing ticket money in, he's still bringing advertising money in, still bringing those type of things. So you don't want to lose that piece until you find something to replace it. But it's time to move on, and I really see he's probably going to end up at the Knicks or somewhere in New York. But then the Knicks are going to have to lose a lot of pieces. So
That's what I was more confused that they didn't pull the trigger, whether it was the Knicks. I know we saw a bunch of other teams, whether it was, the Warriors, who it seemed like they knew, okay, Giannis isn't coming. We're gonna ship Kuminga out elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I was eyeballing that one because not only just Giannis with Brunson and this Knicks squad, but I don't think the Knicks are ready to pull the trigger and lose how much they were going to have to lose to get him.
Yeah, and that's why I was going to ask you. What's out in the market to trade for him? Like, there's no other superstar really out in the market to trade for him.
The only ones that I was looking at, because just looking at the contract setup for Giannis, it's incredibly lucrative, as we all know. If the Knicks wanted to, they could probably do a 1-for-1 cat for Giannis if they wanted to go that route. Plus a couple draft picks, I would assume that's what Milwaukee would want. You could package some things. If you wanted to break up the Villanova team, you could probably put Mikel in there and with a couple side bench pieces that would work. But it's harder for the Knicks to pull it off than I think it would be for someone like Minnesota to pull it off. That's why I genuinely started looking at Minnesota as the favorite, because if Minnesota just packaged something together with one of their bigs plus a couple young guns, they could make the trade happen. And I think he'd be happy playing next to a guy like Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, now Minnesota is a different one because I would do anything to get rid of what's the big center name that
Rudy Gobert.
Oh God.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it would be hard for anybody to really sell any team on taking Rudy for Giannis.
Yeah.
That's why I say one of the bigs, because with this trade, it's most likely going to have to be Julius Randle just to make it enticing for Milwaukee to take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the players in his position, there's like no superstar to like go tit for tat with. So I think that's why this Giannis trade has been so hard.
Right.
To get him out of Milwaukee, because it's like, what do we get? Like, there's not too many power forwards or centers running the game, getting the ball off the rim, setting up plays, which is not many plays, but you're not finding that anywhere outside of a Julius Randle or
Joker.
Joker. Joker's not going anywhere. Like,
no. Well, I don't know, because I know you brought it up when it came to the LA move for Giannis, but there has been rumbling since Luka got moved to LA that the possibility of Joker getting moved over there eventually would also be on the table, since the two of them have vocally said many times they'd love to play together.
That city would lose their
minds. You're talking about the next Magic and Kareem. My God.
Yeah, they most definitely would win a championship if we can get Luka to play defense.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's absolutely true. Well, Joker's not great at defense either. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
If you can get them a Rodman-esque big man, I think you can make it work. But that's a long shot in itself. So
yeah, if we can get Luka to play any link of defense,
yeah, absolutely
win a championship with that core right there. But Giannis is a hard sell, man. As good as he is, there's just nobody in his position to go tit for tat with. You'll have to give up half your team. And he'll be going to a team that he'll be starting over again. Like, it'll be another 2 to 3 years before they'll be good, because they have to give up some of their. Again, I think people underestimate the greatness of the bench, like the depth of a team. Yeah, we talk about superstars. Well, those superstars still need shooters around them. Superstars need somebody to play defense and knock down a shot or two around them. And if you get rid of everybody, like, what do you have? But whatever team he's going to go to, they're going to probably be in another rebuilding stage for another 2 years.
Honestly, that's why I think the Thunder really came out the champions, in my opinion, in this draft or in this trade deadline, because pulling off trades like for McCain and stuff like that, like building again the depth that we all know won them the championship last year. And that's the one thing that I keep highlighting for most of these guys who keep crying, saying, no, we need to trade for Giannis. It's like, no, like, I think it'd be a great addition, but unless he comes in and is a perfect fit for your chemistry build, it's really not going to help you, because like you just said, you're giving up so much to get him. Real quick, before we run out of time with you, my friend, the only trade we haven't talked about that we have seen a little bit of at least the payoff would be Cleveland trading for James Harden. And we saw a little bit of the payoff for the Clippers last night, too, who also got into a massive brawl with the Minnesota Timberwolves. But we won't talk about that. James Harden, though, came out in his first game with the Cavs, dropped 25. Do you think this helps the Cavaliers get back to some sort of relevancy in the East? Vegas has put them back at the top of the Eastern Conference since the trade. So is James Harden the answer? Personally, I'm a Cavs fan and say no. But what's your thoughts on this?
I agree. No. I actually like Garland with Cleveland,
I
man.
did too.
He stayed under the radar. He was able to be himself. Going to the Clippers, let's just talk off the court. Being in LA is a totally different breed than being in Cleveland. Like Cleveland, you can focus on basketball. LA, kind of hard.
There's a lot of extracurriculars out there in LA.
Yeah, there's a lot of extracurricular things going on. So you probably out a little later. You're going to more little dining spots and whatnot. So we just got this one. I'm out to see. Because when I heard and I saw it, like, because you got Spider over there that still run the show. I mean, they still got a good core in Cleveland, but when you ask somebody like James Harden who has to touch the ball, or he's gonna have a crybaby show.
That's when he throws his hissy fit.
Dude, that's what concerns me is not just that, because obviously you have two ball-centric guards that are going to need the ball to win, but James Harden disappears in the playoffs. That's not going to help you.
Disappears big time. And that's the one thing I like about Spider. He shows up in the playoffs.
So unless Spider plans to literally carry us all the way to the finals, which I guess Halliburton did last year, so it's not out of the realm of possibility here. But I don't know. I think it's all looking good right now, but we'll see how it actually ends for this Cleveland team at the end of the season. My friend, we have run out of time, though. I appreciate yours. We will talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Have a good week, my friend. We're getting out of here for the day. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us back here tomorrow, 7 to 9. Who do we got on the ledger tomorrow, Sparky? Just KG? I believe it's just KG talking all things wrestling. But we'll have more for you tomorrow. Until then, Sparky, let's get out of here.